Welcome back. Assistant Chief Scott Freitag from the Cottleville Fire District has some important information about other things to do when we set our clocks forward for daylight savings time.
Well, I know it just seems like yesterday that we talked to you about change your clock, change your battery for fall because we were falling backwards. Well, spring is about sprung and it's time to spring everything forward. At the same time, you need to take the same steps you did in fall. And that's number one, change your smoke detector batteries. The first thing we would recommend is that you change your smoke detector batteries and test your smoke detectors to make sure they work. Most people who die in house fires in the United States die in structures that do not have working smoke detectors or have smoke detectors but the batteries haven't been changed or they're not connected. So it's very important that you start with the basics, and that's checking your smoke detectors for operations and making sure you have fresh batteries in them. From there, you want to go to your carbon monoxide alarms. Most of them today, although they're plugged into your wall, still have a battery backup in case you lose power. Very important that you don't forget that item. Go ahead and change the batteries in that carbon monoxide detector as well. Test it, ensure that it works. From there, the next step is to review your family's fire escape plan. It's very important that you have an emergency escape plan in place, that you pull it out, you dust it off, and you practice it. What happens is when you make an escape plan, you never look at it again. You forget about it in those times of duress when there's an emergency in your home. If you don't already have an emergency escape plan, it's very important that you develop one with your entire family involved. If you're unsure how to do that, then you should contact your local fire department and they'll be more than willing to assist you, even coming out to your home to assist you in putting together a comprehensive escape plan. Always remember, sleep with your doors shut. That can give you an extra 20 to 25 minutes to get out of a house fire alive once your smoke detectors have alerted you to a problem. So very important point. A lot of small kids don't like to sleep with their doors shut, but very important that you work with them on that and get them to shut those doors. Now beyond that, let's step back a second and take a look at the smoke detectors again. Smoke detectors have a life expectancy of about 10 years. So if your smoke detectors have reached that 10-year mark, very important that you replace them. You can go to your local home improvement store, your local retail store, purchase new smoke detectors. Homes that are about 20 years old have hardwired smoke detectors. If they've never been changed, then they don't have a battery backup. It's very important that when you replace those smoke detectors, replace them with a battery backup smoke detector. Older smoke detectors or homes that only have battery-operated smoke detectors need to make sure that those are updated and changed as well. Again, 10 years is the limit on those. Same with carbon monoxide detectors. Now there is a new smoke detector on the market, and the new one has a 10-year battery, which means you install it in your home. You don't have to do anything except test the smoke detector every 30 days just to ensure proper operation. It's a good design, potentially saves a lot of lives. We haven't actually tested the item. I'm not sure it's been on the market for 10 years, but it is another option for those of you who have cathedral ceilings that are 20, 24 foot tall and you simply can't reach them. Put a 10-year smoke detector up there, you're set for 10 years and you don't have to try to climb that ladder all the time. If you have any further questions about smoke detectors, carbon monoxide alarms, fire escape plans, any information that you need relating to an emergency event in your home, please contact your local fire department. We're more than happy to help you out.
Thanks, Scott. It won't be long until the outdoor projects will be in full swing. Rocky Morgan, Director of the St. Charles County Building Division, is here to discuss what you may need in the form of permits and such. Rocky, thanks for coming in.
Glad to be here.
Rocky, can we start off a little bit about telling us about your department and its function?
Our department is there for public safety. We issue permits, do the inspections on the building permits. We answer a lot of questions that people will have concerning safety issues in their homes.
And what kind of permits is it that you issue for the normal homeowner? What do they need a permit for?
The normal homeowner will add a deck or a pool. Normally, if a room addition is being constructed, they'll hire a contractor who will apply for the permit at that time. But there's a lot of little things a homeowner can do around their house that's not going to require permits, and they can call us and ask us what would be necessary, what wouldn't be.
So I'm going to put a deck on or add something to my pool. How do I know, who can I contact to find out if I need a permit? Your division?
Our division, yes, sir. We'll be happy to talk to you about it. There's also a website that shows what's not necessary for a permit. But normally if it's a structural member being worked on, structural member of the house, adding a deck, adding a swimming pool, stuff like that, permits are necessary because there's setback requirements and size requirements that are necessary legally that you can put in that you can't put in. So you definitely want to go through the permitting process prior to starting anything like that.
Now, as a self-doer, what will I need to come in and what will I need to bring with me to come in and get this permit?
If you want to set a new deck or a pool, you need a plot plan that shows your house and your plot plan. That will determine to us whether you can put it in or not and where you can put it because of setbacks. We need a drawing. One drawing is all we need, one copy. If it's a deck, you will give us a drawing showing nominal lumber sizes, the piers, depth, the distance of the deck is and the sizes. We will do a plan review on your drawing, and anything we find that's not up to the codes, we'll make notes on it, and we'll call you back and let you know what it is.
Now, what will the cost be for this?
There's a minimum charge of $40 for permits. Other than that, it's a multiplier of 0.0075 times the cost of the construction project. So more often than not, the small projects are a minimum $40. And that includes the plan review, the processing fee, and the inspection.
Now, you normally don't go out and just inspect things at random, but if a person has a concern about their pool or structural safety on their deck, can they get someone to come out and take a look for them?
We sure will. We'll be more than happy to come out. Our job is public safety. That's our department's job. If you have a concern about your deck where it's an older deck and some of the lumber might be weathered or some of the connections may be loose, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to stop by, send an inspector by, take a look at it for you, make a recommendation what we think needs to be done. And then it's up to the homeowner to do that, but we're gonna come out and talk to you about it.
We're not far away from the time that the pools will be getting active again. What should we be concerned about with that pool safety as far as the construction integrity and that of it?
Pools are very tricky and very particular type item. They're very dangerous if they're not properly protected. We find there's a couple drownings a year in our area with small kids getting into pools that are unprotected. So the gates, fencing, locks, alarms on the doors, the electric even being reviewed to make sure that the electric's still in good shape for the pool pump. So there are some issues. We have a website here again that has the regulations for pools. And if you have any questions, feel free to call us. We'll stop by and take a look at those for you too. Make sure the gates are operating properly, the fencing is properly built to protect your pool.
And if a person needs any additional information on this, they can certainly contact your department.
Yes, sir. We have a lot of people. We have all of our inspectors. We have plan reviewers, myself, they'll be happy to talk to you.
Rocky, thanks so much for the information. When we come back, we have a segment on tattoo and piercing parlor safety. Stay tuned.